Thank you, Deputy Speaker. And the government won't be supporting the suspension motion by the member for North Sydney. We do acknowledge, and we certainly as a government do acknowledge, that people are doing it tough. And that has been at the centrepiece of all of our actions since we were elected to government. We absolutely understand the challenges that people are facing, and we have, as we've seen in our budget and our constant measures to address cost of living pressures. It shows that we do understand that. Our recent announcement with the tax cuts as well, we know people are doing it tough, and we are absolutely committed to providing support that people do require. As I say, those tax cuts from the 1st of July for every Australian taxpayer is vitally important, on top of our cost of living measures, which we have announced. And of course, many of the issues that have been brought up are in relation to some of the pensions. And of course, on last year, the 20th September 2023, we increased those base rates of working age and student payments, including job seeker payment, youth allowance, parenting payment, Austudy, ab-study living allowance, disability support pension, and they did increase by $40 a fortnight to benefit over 1 million Australians. Now, Deputy Speaker, this is an issue that we feel very strongly on this side of the House about, and many people have campaigned for a very long time in relation to increasing those payments, and that was a major commitment that we did make because we understood how important it is to be taking that action. And of course, along with the basic rate of payment, everyone who receives job seeker payment is eligible for at least another additional supplementary payment, which could include the energy supplement, the family tax benefit or rent assistance. And depending upon a person's circumstances, there are other supplementary benefits as well. And in recognition of the costs associated with raising a family, a higher basic rate is also payable to recipients with dependent children and principal carer parents as well. And of course, income support payments such as JobSeeker are indexed in March and September in line with CPI, and I'll detail that a bit more later on. And we are, as a government, we are always committed to those, helping those that are most in need. And that has been obvious from day one of this government. After 10 years of neglect, we have committed a huge amount in terms of providing that support that people do need. We do that because it's the Labor Party that built the modern safety net. We built universal Medicare, universal superannuation, universal NDIS and the minimum wage, and we'll always work to ensure that all Australians are supported. No one's left behind. We understand how important that is. And we know, as I said, the cost of living pressures, and that's why we're taking all actions possible to make life easier for all Australians. And of course, in our cost of living package, in the budget, there were a whole range of measures. As I've outlined some of those increases already, and including that as well, expanding the eligibility for parenting payment signal to parents with the youngest child under 14, and very importantly, increasing the maximum rates of Commonwealth rent assistance by 15%, and that was the largest increase in more than 30 years. And all of that additional support has started flowing as well. And of course, from yesterday, around 5 million people were receiving a boost to their payments as a result of that indexation. And indexation is important, absolutely important, to make sure that we do see those increases there. Now, also, on top of that, this is just one element that's increased in those payments, we also have a whole suite of measures in terms of addressing cost of living concerns. We have the energy bill relief, cheaper medicines, cheaper childcare, lifting the Medicare levy low-income thresholds, tripling the bulk billing incentive, expanding the eligibility for the Commonwealth Seniors Healthcare Card, freezing social security deeming rates, expanding paid parental leave, and, as I said at the very beginning, delivering these bigger and better tax cuts for working Australians. We understand how tough people are doing it, and that's a tax cut for every Australian taxpayer. We also have a massive investment in social and affordable housing. Our $10 billion package and a whole range of measures to make sure that social and affordable housing can be accessed by the most vulnerable in our community. And as I said before, Deputy Speaker, with that increase in the job seeker payment increased yesterday as well to indexation, including lots of other pensions as well. We did see that increase there. And it means that since the government was elected, the rate of job seeker has increased by $120 a fortnight, or 18.7%, providing over $3,100 in additional support each year. And from the 20th of March 2024, from yesterday, the higher rate of job seeker is $816.90 per fortnight. And we understand people are still doing it tough on that, but we have committed and we did increase it because we know that that's vitally important to be doing that. And there is that full range of the packages I've suggested and talked about here today. We are also absolutely committed to making sure that we are providing the resources and training and support that people have to get into the workforce. We know that so many of these people want to do that. Part of that is also our fee-free TAFE as well, and that has been a huge success. I hear every day from people who were not able to access training to get into jobs as well. So whilst we have to be providing all of that support through our safety nets, which we are doing, and cost of living relief and the tax cuts, we have a strong focus in ensuring that people are able to access training and get into employment, because secure work, as we know, is one of the strongest forces for reducing poverty. We know that, and that's our priority, to get people into work. And of course, the current state of the labour market is a success story. Just today, the unemployment rate at 3.7%, Deputy Speaker. That is at a historic low. And of course, since May 2022, around 650,000 jobs have been created, and workforce participation is at historical highs. So we know we have to make sure we are investing in that training and education, as well as providing all of those necessary supports. And as I say, that absolutely is a hallmark of Labor governments and all that we have built in terms of providing those social security safety nets. And we have to do this, and we have done this, all in a fiscally responsible manner as well, in terms of having a surplus whilst providing all of these necessary supports. But we do understand that people are doing it tough, and we do understand that there needs to be that support provided there. And indexation is a very important part of this. As I said yesterday, yes, the government did point out that there was the indexation in place from the 20th of March. And applying this indexation with pensions like the age pension does increase to $1,116 a fortnight for singles, $1,682 a fortnight for couples. And parenting payment recipients will see an increase as well. And this includes the more than 77,000 single parents, mainly women, who are benefiting from the government's decision to expand eligibility for the single parent payment until the youngest child turns 14. So, Deputy Speaker, what you see time and time again from this government is our consistent commitment to providing that support where it's required, and particularly in relation to the increase in those pensions. Many of us will know for many years, many people advocated for this, and we responded to that because we understand how vitally important it is. And we know now, today, the challenges that people are facing. We all speak to people every day. We know people are doing it tough. That's why we have that whole range of the cost of living assistance. And I hear from people every day it's making a huge difference to them, particularly increases in bulk billing, being able to see a doctor who can bulk bill, cheaper medicines, cheaper childcare, as I said, fee-free TAFE as well, and of course paid parental leave. We're very proud as a Labor government to be increasing that as well, meaning that a lot more women can be in the workforce. We know that it's great for families, and it's also very good for the economy. So we have done a huge amount, and at the same time we realise that it is very difficult for people within the community. It's certainly something that we as a Labor government are very proud on, and it builds on our legacy of all that we have done, being committed to not leaving anyone behind, and we have a long history of doing that. As I said, whether you look at NDIS, Medicare, all of those measures that vitally assist people today, providing those social services nets that we do have for people in place, because we know they're doing it tough. And that's why we're committed to the cost of living measures that you've heard from us, because we know that will make a difference. And indeed, of course, our tax cuts that are coming in 1st of July will make a massive difference, Deputy Speaker. This government is absolutely committed to providing that support for Australians who are doing it tough. We absolutely understand that, and that is why we have this whole range of measures to assist them.
I thank